Father, keep on blessing me. Say that's the only job, boy, steady testing me. And that furnace of affliction, baking me like bread top of sesame. I come through like a fine gold, you know a righteous recipe. I grew past the thorns and this is a shade in my vicinity. There's a juice for every 12, so most circles there spinning me. If you ain't black, Hispanic, or Native American, you ain't no kin to me. I turn from the broad path that made me a public enemy. I outcast the children when you got the boy energy and you roll with a goodie mob out the bottom of dungeon family. There's no growth without pain, so calamity breeds clarity. Karma is a bitch, if you rich, don't forget the charity. The kingdom of heaven within, so a life is prosperity. But life without services, heavenly immorality. Tragically, most live in disparity. Missing the meaning of life even, though they search desperately. All these intimate schisms plaguing their anatomy. Ironically, they self-destructing ass. What happened to me? It's sad to see. The hubris of the ignorance is likened to a Pharisee. A hard pill, pedophilia breeds homosexuality. Statistically, most predators exist in your family. Sadly, grandma silences, curses generationally, passed down, class condition, ever since slavery. Best believe you come for mine, I'm down for them felonies. Got the balls contest, you gon' catch this vasectomy. All these J. Reeds playing God is just blasphemy. That was in too deep when they see soul and service geology. A lot of niggas and haters running after these Persephones. I take a trip to Nisha over any of these Bethanies. My mama is a gem with a skin of milk. Her name is Ruby. I stumbled along the narrow path, but gotta never lose me. When you realize you're chosen, that first step is a doozy. Sidestep and distraction and pitfalls with these exclusives. Remember when you real, it takes acts to make a movie. You reap what you sow, so enjoy that fruit in that smoothie. My Steelers a righteous fit like a beer in the koozie. I sit calm, watching all these I Love Lucy's and these culture vultures got all our people looking goofy. I wrote this with no hook, so every point is a fat joke. Feel me? And last one was a J. Julius Urban on my bigot. For the cash money, most Lil Wayne's neglect the currency. To be a king Bunny, I'll make out the Magnolia shorty. The truth hurts to end this, coming very shortly. The hand of the Lord is more darkly than that rapture story. Most outwardly show bravery, but inwardly or cowardly. Because to be righteous makes you stand out awkwardly. Roll tide ends in waterfalls and rocks sharply in your vessel. Watch the shore because Babylon is falling, and that handout you got you complacent on dependency. It never rise above the status quo. Your people feel me. We in the valley of dry bones. Lazarus come forth for your quickening. Or you will tell you're weak because arms is coming swiftly. There are very few ants. Most have a slugger tendency. You bang on your brother, but dance for the enemy. They conquer in division. We multiply in solidarity. To build, you must destroy the vicious cycle of redundancy and walk a narrow path against normality for clemency. Most despise wisdom and rather live in their infancy. A man puts away childish things and show consistency. The kingdom is at hand. Red and blue pill, choose wisely. All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is the Feast of Hanukkah, also known as the Feast of Dedication. All right, so what we're going to be doing before we get started is just to give some understanding of what the Feast of Dedication is, right? So this, what we're about to go over today, is not only just important because it is a convocation for us, but the background upon this story is pivotal to what's going on today in America, right? Because everything that took place then is literally taking place now. And if you do not know your history, you're doomed to repeat it, right? So the first scripture that I'm going to pull is for people that say, Christ did away with the law. We don't have to keep feast days and things of that nature and stuff like that. So before we get started, let's find out what Christ himself did. All right, somebody go to the book of John for me. Go to John chapter 10 and verse 22. All right. So let's find out what Christ kept, right? So let you know, not only are we rehearsing the righteous act of our ancestors, but we're also following what Christ did. Christ not only kept the feast and the high holidays, but we're going to show you in the Bible, in the New Testament, with Christ himself, where he kept the feast of dedication. All right. When you got it, go ahead and read it. John chapter 10, verse 22, and you're going to read it 24. Quick.
Salaki, sir. Can you repeat the chapter and verse?
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. And you're going to read the verse 24.
Khan, this is John chapter 10, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
It was at Jerusalem. What?
The feast of the dedication.
That is what we're doing today. Go ahead.
And it was winter.
And it was when?
Winter.
What time of season is it now?
Winter.
It's winter, right? So letting you know, not only are we keeping what Christ kept, but we in the same time frame doing the same thing our ancestors have been doing since Mattathias and his sons and Judas Maccabeus set the examples of the righteous act that we should continue to do and set ourselves apart. Keep reading.
Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 24. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly.
All right. So this is during the time of Christ. This is when Christ himself is keeping the feast of dedication, right? So everything that we do is according to the Bible. So for y'all that have your precepts book, this is definitely something that you want to put as a feather in your hat, as a cut, saying that, well, Christ didn't keep the feast days, or Christ said that we didn't have to keep the feast days. This is literally Christ himself keeping the feast of dedication. All right. So now let's get into some history. All right. So I believe nephew, I think you holding Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1 for me, correct?
Sir.
All right, no sweat. Real quick, Kamar, I need to send you something. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of First Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
All right. So who are some key figures that stick out off top?
Persians and the Medes, sir.
Who?
The Persians and the Medes, sir.
Okay, start at the first verse again one more time. Come on, check your messenger. I sent you something. Go ahead. Start over.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip.
All right. Who is Alexander, son of Philip?
So like you said, Alexander the Great.
Get that brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? So for the people that say that there's no history in the Bible, that the people in the Bible, there's no history in it, you understand, doesn't line up with history. I mean, not only does it have Alexander the Great in there, but then it has his lineage. He's a son of Philip the Macedonian, right? Who was a king. All right, keep reading. Go ahead, nephew.
Came out of us, like I'm gonna start at the beginning. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1 in the Apocrypha.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead. the first over Greece.
All right, so just to give you some dates to everything of what's going on right now, right? So when Alexander the Great, when he went up against King Darius the Third, right? This takes place approximately October 1st, 331 BC. All right, keep reading verse 2.
Verse 2, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
Keep reading.
Verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Keep reading.
Verse 4, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
Keep reading.
Verse 5, and after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Verse 6.
All right. So from the time frame, so Alexander, his entire war campaign was approximately 12 years, right? And the time of his death was June 323 BC. That's when he died, right? And when he died, go ahead and read this next part, and we about to start getting into some serious history.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
All right. So of his generals, you understand, the entire world, all right, was separated. All right. So when Alexander the Great, when he went on his war and conquest, he conquered the known world, right, which was Egypt, Mesopotamia, Persia, Asia Major, and Asia Minor, right? So his generals were Ptolemy, right, who began the Ptolemaic Empire. He took Egypt, all right. Antiochus, and these two names you're going to hear a lot about as we go through this chapter and going through the story of the Maccabean War, all right. Antiochus, who was a follower of Seleucus, he took Mesopotamia. Antigonus, he took Asia Major and Asia Minor, and Lysimachus and Antipater, they took Thrace and the mainland of Greece. All right, keep reading.
Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Verse 8. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And what was multiplied?
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
See, one thing that you have to understand is in the book of Job, the Lord said that he gave the world over to the hand of the wicked, right? This is the beginning, right, of Esau. Because remember, in Genesis, the blessing that Abraham gave Esau was that at one point in time that he was going to break the yoke that Jacob had from around his neck. All right. So this is post our rulership in the kingdom. Right. This is after the kingdom has been ripped asunder. All right. This is when the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom split Jerusalem, split the nation of Israel down the middle. And everybody started to go into captivity. Like we went into Egypt captivity. We went in captivity with the Persians and the Medes. Now we're dealing with Greece, right? So Greece conquered all of the empires of the known world and brought them under what is known as the Helleniste. We're going to get into what that is. All right, keep reading.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root. Antiochus.
A good root?
A wicked root.
You understand? The Lord said you can't make straight what the Lord has made crooked. You understand? The scripture says that the evil they done in the earth was because that they had a crooked root. You cannot rule righteously when you've gained it by bloodshed. All right, keep reading.
Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
All right, now, Kamar, click the link that I sent you. Is going to take you to the Encyclopedia Britannica. It's going to talk about Antiochus the fifth of Phoenix, who is literally what they're talking about. Like everything. This is why the Apocrypha was taken out of the Bible, because the Apocrypha not only has major figures in history, but it has dates. Right? So if you take the major figures of history out, you understand? Because remember, at the end of the Old Testament, it's really like the Persians and the Medes, and then we just pop up in the Roman Empire. Well, what happened in between there? Right? So you got Artaxerxes in the Bible, you have King Darius in the Bible. For those who don't know who Artaxerxes is, he was made popularized in the movie 300. Okay. All right, but now we're going to talk about Antiochus and what this deceptive, evil, wicked oppressor did not only to the world but to our nation. All right, go ahead and click that link, Kamar.
Concert, what do you want me to start?
You can start at the very top.
The Britannica Encyclopedia, Antiochus.
Antiochus.
What is that? The fourth?
Mm-hmm.
Antiochus the fourth, Epiphanes, Greek for God manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Born in 215 BC, died in 164 in Tibet, Iran.
Mm-hmm.
The Seleucid king of the how do I say, sir? Hellenistic Syrian kingdom.
All right, now, nephew, I want you to read the definition of Hellenist in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary for me, so we can get an understanding of what is going on.
This is the Zondervan Compact Dictionary, Bible Dictionary.
Speak up a little bit, brother.
This is the definition of Hellenist in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Uh-huh.
Jews who made Greek their tongue.
Jews that did what?
Made Greek their tongue.
Uh-huh.
And with it, often adopted Greek ideas and practices.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and what we're about to, hold on one second. Let me, come on, I'm gonna send you two more things that we're gonna bring out. All right. So during the Hellenistic period, right? So when Alexander the Great, when he went and conquered every single nation, all right, every single nation had to give up their nationality, right, and their culture to be considered Greek. What does that sound like?
Salakia, sir, can you repeat that, please?
All right. So the Hellenization or the Helleniste, right? When Alexander the Great, when he would go into different provinces and he would conquer, he would make people adopt the culture, well, forget their culture, right? And adopt the practices of the Greek gods and the Greek culture, and in order to be called the Greek. So if you were a Persian, you were no longer, you were a Persian Grecian. If you were Chinese, you were a Chinese Grecian, right? What does that sound like?
Salakia, sir, I'm gonna take a guess. A certain form of cultural assimilation.
That's yes, but that's not what I'm looking for. What you got, nephew?
Slacker, so that sounds like present day America.
Get that brother a hand. Get that brother a hand. You understand? All right. So this lets you know that we are still under the Greco-Roman Empire, right? Because in order to come to America, you got to be an American, right? You got to go through, when I say months, like 6 months of scrutiny. You got to pass tests. You got to memorize the Star Spangled Banner. You gotta memorize the Pledge of Allegiance. You basically got to brainwash yourself. To become an American means that you have to forget who you are and where you came from. You are no longer Chinese. You are no longer Sudanese. You are no longer Nigerian. You are no longer an Iranian. You have to give up everything that makes you unique as a people to become an American. That's what the Helleniste did. That's what the Hellenization is. All right. Come on, keep reading where you were in the Encyclopedia Britannica about Antiochus.
Another one concert. Oh. Seleucid king of the Hellenistic Syrian kingdom, who reigned from 175 to 164 BCE. As a ruler, he was best known for his encouragement of Greek culture and institutions.
His encouragement of what?
Greek culture and institutions.
You understand? Encouragement is a very kind word. You understand? Because we're gonna find out how he encouraged Greek culture, and it wasn't say, "Hey, brother, I mean, I know you're an Israelite, you know, but it'll be a lot better if you were a Greek. Come and be a Greek, man. You know, let me show you about all the things we're able to do in Greek land." It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like paper soldiers. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. You understand? Keep reading, Kamar.
Another one con. His attempt to suppress Judaism.
To suppress what?
Judaism.
All right. We know that's the oppressor's lingo to try and docile what the Bible is, right? The Bible is not Judaism, right? The Torah is not Judaism. It is the Israelite culture and spiritual system, right? He tried to stomp out because he knew that if we followed our laws and our commandments, you understand, that our God would be with us and our God would protect us. All right. Keep reading, Kamar.
His attempts to suppress Judaism during the wars of the Maccabees.
During the wars of the what?
Maccabees.
Of the what?
Maccabees.
Nephew, what book we in?
First Maccabees, sir.
We in the book of Maccabees. You understand? So this lets you know, you understand, that the Bible is historical. This is the greatest history book. You understand? They try and have you believe, you understand, that your book is nothing but fabrications and fairy tales, when your ancestors are literally tied into some of the greatest names of generals, kings, you understand, throughout history and antiquity. All right. All right, let's get back to it, nephew. Read where you were. I think you were at verse 10. Let's go to verse 11.
Concert. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go."
Let us do what?
Let us go
Mm-hmm.
and make a covenant with the heathen.
With the what?
The heathen.
With the what?
Heathen.
So, come on, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You understand? Because the Lord, well, go ahead and finish reading, nephew.
With the heathen that are round about us.
Mm-hmm.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
First thing that you have to understand is that the Lord made us separate. You understand? He made us greater than all nations. You got it? You got it? Come on. Go ahead and read.
Chapter 6, verse 7.
Mm-hmm. No, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm. And then Malachiah, give me Jeremiah 23 and 14. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art a holy people.
For thou art a what?
Holy people.
All right. What does well, he's about to tell you. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be special people unto himself.
What does it mean to be holy? It means to be what? You understand? It means to be set apart. It's Kodash in the Hebrew, right? So it means that the Lord made us to be a separate people. You understand? That we're not supposed to make covenants with nobody. You understand? Keep reading, Kamar.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Equal with all people.
Above all people.
You understand? We are not to be evenly tilt with nobody. Matter of fact, start at verse 1. He about to tell you right here.
This is Deuteronomy 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites.
It's almost like saying parasites. Yeah, because that's what Ham is. You know, he a parasite that love parasites. You understand? You know, you be seeing them on them videos, boy. They got them flies on their face. They be eating that boo boo. You understand? Keep reading.
And the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Verse 2.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Thou shalt be friends with them.
Smite them.
Thou shalt make agreements with them.
Smite them.
You shall walk hand in hand with them down the street as one nation.
Smite them. And utterly destroy them.
You know, so this tells you this right now, that we're not supposed to be friends with no nation. You know what friendship with these nations got us? It got us with Vietnamese beauty supplies. It got us with Arab gas stations. It got us with Vietnamese and East Indian liquor stores. It got us with Chinese fried chicken spots. You understand? It got us with white man grocery stores. You understand? Like, can somebody go on Google real quick, and I want you to just Google how many black-owned grocery stores are there in Houston? Somebody just do me a quick Google search. How many black-owned grocery stores? Then somebody Google how many Hispanic grocery stores are there in Houston? Yeah, I know it one for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's on the southwest side. That's what I'm saying. It's right there off 288. Oh, Slocky, my bad. I did say southwest. I was wrong. Hey, Shemai. All right. Somebody got the number? How many black-owned grocery stores are there in Houston? Just Google it real quick. And then somebody else Google how many Hispanic grocery stores. What number you got, sis? 6 for what? It's only 6 Hispanic grocery stores in Houston. All right. How many black grocery stores in Houston?
Salaki, sir. It's inaccurate because they're including black as an African.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm gonna tell you, there's 2. Right? So as far as producing food for the nation of Israel, there are only 7 grocery stores that supply the entire city of Houston and surrounding areas. You understand? You can't even number how many Walmarts are in the city of Houston. You can't even number how many Kroger are in the city of Houston. How many HEBs are in the city of Houston? How many Fiestas are in the city of Houston? And then the oppressor is such a cunning hunter. He named one of his grocery stores Fiesta. It ain't owned by I.S.U.P.K, I promise you that. You understand? They diabolical with it, huh? You understand? This lets you know what's going on. You understand? The Lord told us to be separate, so things like this won't happen. You literally buy your clothing, your food, your water, and even your shelter from your oppressor, because you did not want to smite them and remove them from your borders. You wanted to be friends with them. You understand? You wanted to have equal education with them. You understand? You wanted to ride the same buses with them. You understand? When we had our own bus lines, our own hotels. You understand? Most people don't understand. Like back in the 60s and 70s, they had these things called the green papers, right? That they would give to black people, and those were the routes that you would have to take when you would take your vacation routes, because you could only stay in black or Hispanic hotels. But all of them are gone. All of the black and Hispanic towns and the Native American towns are gone. The Native Americans are riddled to reservations. If you go on these reservations, it look like a third world country. You understand? Everything that we have has been taken from us is because we forgot that we were supposed to smite our enemy, but instead we wanted to be friends with them because we listened to these wicked false prophets. You understand? These wicked pastors. You know, like when I was in the Christian church, they would every election season they would have our oppressors come in there and sit in the front row. You understand? And they'd have them all come up here and say, "Hey, I'm such and such from district such and such and county such and such. Make sure you vote for me." You understand? But all those faces that came up in our communities did not look like us. You understand? They did not appreciate us. You understand? They did not rally for us. Matter of fact, when they got in office, they made laws that would propagate against us. You understand? Read what you got in Jeremiah, nephew. Jeremiah 23 and 14. You're going to read 14 and 15 and then jump to 17.
Kind of concert. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery.
They do what?
Commit adultery.
What does it mean to commit adultery as a prophet?
So like you said, sleep.
Jeremiah 14 and 15. Go ahead.
So like you said, sleep with another brother's wife.
That is what adultery in the physical sense mean. But as a prophet, what does it mean for a prophet to commit adultery? Go ahead.
You subscribe to a different religion, sir?
To do what?
Subscribe to a different religion.
Give that brother a hand. You understand? Right? And that's what our people are doing. And what Jan is gonna pull out, Jan, those two screenshots that I sent you, get those ready. You're gonna pull up the orange one, right? But that's what they did. No, let nephew keep reading. Just have those ready. All right. So what they did was so wicked, brother. Like, it's called divide and conquer. You don't send somebody in. See the devil. He is a master at what he does. You understand? And for people, you know, the devil isn't somebody with well, I guess he is red. I guess he is red. He's not somebody with a tail. Well, some of them do have tails. Well, he don't have a pitchfork. Okay. And he's not under the ground. Well, he did. Well, he came from a cave. You know what I'm saying? But he's not the person, you know, that's underground in hell. Well, I guess he is the ruler of hell because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in hell. You understand? But the devil didn't bring his kind to show you into slavery. He used your own people, and this is how he did it. Keep reading, nephew.
They commit adultery and walk in lies.
Mm-hmm.
They strengthen also the hands of evildoers.
They did what?
They strengthen also the hands of evildoers.
You understand? What did it say in the book of Maccabees, right? What did it say in the book of Maccabees? What was it? Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11, right? I got it, Kamar. It said, in those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we depart from them, we have had much sorrow. All right. So they have convinced you to partake with these wicked men. Keep reading, nephew.
That none doth return from his wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
They are all of them unto me as Sodom.
As what?
Sodom.
We already know what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. Keep reading.
And the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning
what verse you at?
15, sir.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall.
What is wormwood? Does anybody know what wormwood is?
So like you said, I'm gonna take a guess. Is that not
wormwood is technically a parasite.
Nah, but it's the
but it is wood.
It's the one that eats the wood.
No. What does it? One more guess. Anybody know what wormwood is, brother? What's your name back there? What's your name, brother? Mike. You know what wormwood is, Mike? Good night. Nah, it ain't a termite. It's a tree, but it's a specific type of tree. What is it, y'all? What is wormwood? You get the mic over there. What is wormwood? Yeah, what is wormwood?
It's a perennial herb used in the alcoholic beverages.
Does it say what it grows from?
No.
All right, for time's sake, I'm gonna tell you. Wormwood is wood that grows from dead bodies. Yeah, it's wood that grows from a crypt. It feeds on dead bodies, right? Wormwood is used in absinthe, right? You know, which is that green liquor, and it makes you hallucinate, right? That's what Vincent Van Gogh was sipping on when he cut off his ear. You understand? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He was sipping on liquor made from dead bodies. Yeah, that's what it is. You understand? But the Lord said that He would make these false prophets wormwood. You understand? Drop down to verse 17, nephew.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
You understand? So what you have to understand is these false prophets, you understand, these preachers, these lying pastors are telling you, everything is all good in America. You understand? While we know that the Gaza Strip is being bombed to hell, we on brink of World War III, and Christ is on his way to return. They'll tell you everything is good, brother. You understand? Put your name on it and claim it. If you see it, you will receive it. You understand? They would have you believe that everything is fine as long as you intertwine with this nation. America is going to hell, just like Greece did, just like Rome did, just like Egypt did, just like the Persian and the Medes did. You'd be a damn fool if you believe that this nation is going to last forever. Every great nation and every super world power has fallen. You understand? And America is falling right now. It is time for you, as the scripture says, for her to come out of her, my people. Stop listening to these false prophets that have you in league. Be like Judas Maccabeus and his father Mattathias, who dared to stand against tyranny. They didn't turn a blind eye to corruption. All right? Keep reading, nephew.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For who hath stood
drop down to 21.
Sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
I have not sent these prophets, yet they
The Lord
ran.
said what?
I have not sent these prophets.
You understand? Anybody that speaks counter against what the law, statutes, and commandments have to say, the Lord did not send these prophets, man. You understand? But the Lord said, even if I didn't send them, read.
Yet they ran.
Mm-hmm.
I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22. But they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words. Then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings.
But instead, during this time of the Helleniste, this is what they did. Instead of turning our people to the Lord, you understand, they turned them to the heathens and they made agreements with them. You understand? Matter of fact, Jan, you still got Deuteronomy chapter 7 open? Read 7 and 3.
That's Deuteronomy 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
So start at the what does the end of verse 2 say? You say anything about covenants with them? Or is that verse 3?
Sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me.
They shall do what?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
This is the reason. Look, you want to make something popular? Get a black or Hispanic to do it. You understand? Like, why do look? They got Asians right over there in Tokyo right now. They got the SA low culture, the low rider culture. You understand? They got Chinese people rocking lokes. You know what I'm saying? One button up with the flannel. You understand? And some chinos on. You feel me? With the cholos. You know what I'm saying? With the hairnet tied at the top with the slick back. You understand? What does low rider culture got to do with China? Nothing. What you got, nephew?
Slakia, sir. In Korea, they have Korean battle rappers who dress like Judites.
Come on, bro. And then they got a new process that they do where they put little twisties all throughout their hair and then blow dry it out so they can have afros. Right. Go ahead. What you got?
Like if I may, China also have their own set of Crips too.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, China Mac. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, if you want to make anything popular, you get a black, Hispanic, or a Native American to do it. You understand? The whole world does what we do. You understand? That's why they had to send one of your own to convince you. This is the reason why Zeus is popular. This is the reason why all the Greek mythology, Hades, Hercules, and all this stuff, all this is popularized is because it was propagated on you. Because don't nothing a black, Hispanic, or Native American love nothing more than a story. You understand? I mean, shoot, we got our own One West anime. You understand? Because we like stories. You understand? But you love everybody else's story but your own. And your story is the greatest story of all. Everything that Marvel is based off of your story. You understand? Everything Dragon Ball Z is based off of your story. You understand? Any Independence Day is based off of your story. Every number one Hollywood blockbuster is based off of your story. But the only reason why you don't know it because the scripture says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. You understand? And a gift destroys the heart. And the gift that they gave you was welfare. The gift that they gave you was Section 8. The gift that they gave you was WIC. You understand? They gave you everything so that you would forget about Black Wall Street. That you forget about Rosewood. That you would forget about Seneca Village. Hell, they still remember the Geronimo, goddammit. You understand? Like they remember every atrocity that they've done. I mean, hell, Thanksgiving was about the mass murder and genocide of 700 Native Americans in every single war party that they went on and wiped out tribes. Brother, we did the math. They killed approximately 2,000 Native Americans a year. You know how many people that is? You can't even name 2,000 people in your family. So that means every year they were wiping out family lines. This is what they got us to propagate. This is what they got us to push. This is what the Helleniste is. This is what Judas Maccabeus and his father Mattathias fought so hard against. You understand? Keep reading where you at, nephew.
Verse 23. Am I a God at hand, saith the Lord, and not a God afar off? Verse 24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him?
Give me verse 25 so Jan can read what he got.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophecy lies in my name, saying, I have a dream.
Saying what?
I have a dream.
Saying what?
I have a dream.
You understand? What famous preacher said, I have a dream? Go ahead, nephew.
Martin Luther King, sir.
And do you know what Martin Luther King's dream was? This is the very next line after that. When he said, "I have a dream." Anybody know?
For
That little
black boys
would do what?
Joining hands together.
With what? He said that little black boys and little white girls would join hands together and walk hand in hand. You know why he said little black boys and little white girls, right? Because that was Orgy Mike. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? He was getting down with them white girls every night. You understand? You feel me? It's because he was a bastard, man. You understand? In the words of Ashard and Posh, he was an ungrateful bastard, man. You understand? He sold his people out. And even in his last days, he said that I was afraid that I've led my people into a burning house. You understand? Because he was a wicked bastard, man. He forgot who his father was, who his forefathers was. You understand? I mean, in slavery, our people knew that the white man was the devil the Bible speak of. Now, I'm literally just saying what they said. Now, I mean, I'm just saying what history says. Right? In the Jim Crow era, they said that white people was the devil. I mean, hell, even during the civil rights era that Martin was in, he heard Malcolm X call the white man the devil. But yet he said that we should integrate. Because we integrated, we don't have hospitals to go to. You understand? We don't have grocery stores to shop at. You understand? The only thing that we got is a barbecue truck and a taco truck. That's all we got. You understand? That's all we have. And we had so much more. We had our own cities that thrived, that were higher and better than our counterpart. Because we thrived in being separate. We didn't think that we were equal because y'all let us know that we weren't equal. But just based off of scripture, the same thing that happened during the Maccabean War is happening now. And the people that do not know their history is doomed to repeat it. All right. Read that first two screenshots that I sent you, Kamar. You're gonna read the one that's in orange first. All right, and this is from hold on, let me go there with you. I just sent it to you. There we go. This is from the book Hellenistic Civilization and the Jews. All right, read that orange part. Mm-hmm.
But in course of time, the situation altered, and in the 70s of the 2nd century, there arose among the inhabitants of Jerusalem a new faction composed of Hellenizing Jews.
Composed of what?
Hellenizing Jews.
Now, according to what nephew read, a Hellenist, right, is a Jew that adopted Greek practices and made Greek their tongue, right? So that's no different than our Hispanic brothers from the Northern Kingdom that don't speak no Spanish. You understand? All they know is English. When they cousins and come visit them from out of town, they try to speak Spanish to them. Like, bro, I don't speak Spanish. You understand? They completely whitewashed and brainwashed their culture. You understand? To assimilate. All right? Keep reading. And hey, I mean, us as black people, I mean, we gave up the Gullah Geechee language. We gave up Creole. You understand? We gave up, you understand, the patois. You understand? Because we wanted that job. We wanted that 401k. You understand? We gave up our cultures to assimilate, and we still being oppressed, murdered, and killed like our ancestors were then. Keep reading.
Hellenizing Jews, which for several years held power in Judea and became noted for its strong adherence to Hellenism.
All right. Now, this is we always say I use secular examples for divine clarification, right? I use external references to show you what in the Bible is actually true. Everything that the Bible is saying, I'm going to, and the person that wrote this is a Sephardic Jew that wrote this book, right? This is an oppressor. You understand? This is a man, I can't I get it flagged. I gotta watch my words. This is a so-called Jewish man that wrote this book, right? And it lines up exactly with history. Keep reading, Jan. I mean, sorry, come on. I owe you 10 push-ups, brother.
Hellenizers converted Jerusalem into a Greek town.
Into a what?
Greek town.
You understand? Jerusalem was a black, Hispanic, and Native American town. You know what they did? They did the same thing in Seneca Village. Seneca Village is a central park for New York when it was a black, Hispanic, and Native American town. Like they wiped out the town and didn't put nothing there, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Like it is a forever that square block of Central Park is a forever memorial for your people. You understand? So much so they wiped out your entire town to put a park for all the oppressors and their babies. You understand? And they relegate you to projects like rats. Keep reading.
Introduced Greek customs into Jewish life.
Mm-hmm.
Built a gymnasium.
Built a what?
Gymnasium.
A what?
Gymnasium.
You know what I'm saying? So the reason why we got gyms in every city, you understand? I mean, shoot, you got gyms like 24-hour fitnesses is everywhere. LA Fitnesses is everywhere. Gold's Gym is everywhere. Planet Fitness, I mean, that's not really a gym, but they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? They everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because this lets you know that we're still in the Greco-Roman Empire. They introduced gymnasiums so they can do all of their Rod Smith culture. You understand? So they can get their Greek wrestling on. You understand? I don't know if you didn't seen some of these pictures of Greek wrestling. It's some homoneurotic stuff going on, brother. You understand? Some of them wrestling moves, you understand? Like they got some moves where they, stick the thumb in the butt so they can have leverage to toss you. I'm dead serious. I'm serious. Go ahead, nephew.
Salakia,
Think I'm lying? Look it up.
I was on YouTube one day and I saw this video about like ancient Greek facts that people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was said that in the video that in ancient Greek like sports, men would be like naked, oiled up, wrestling each other.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They would get oiled up. Look. I'm serious. You understand? It's the term is called greasing, right? It is a wrestling technique that they would get naked and oil themselves up and grease themselves up. So whenever you grab them, you couldn't hold me, baby. Yeah. Go ahead, sis.
Just like the video you shared when they were spotting each other and it turned into a
come on, man. Look, men going right behind each other. Right? Because it was the mentor and mentees. That's what spotting came from. It was the mentor teaching the mentee. Let me spot you, brother. Let me show you how to hold it. You got to get the right form, brother. You know what I'm saying? All right. Keep reading, Jan.
Con.
So now you know where the gyms came from. All right, that ain't, you think you going to the gym to pump iron, you pumping iron so another brother can look at you. Right? That's where it came from. Because there wouldn't be nothing in the gyms back then but men. Keep reading.
And did not even oppose the spread of the Greek gods in Judea.
Mm-hmm.
This group found its shield and patron in the Syrian king Antiochus IV Epiphanes, who intervened in the internal affairs of the land of Judea.
You understand? So this is literally what we are reading in the Bible. I mean, you just heard him talk about Ptolemy and Antiochus, right? These are literally the people in the Bible. So we are dealing with history, serious historic facts. Keep reading.
And threw the weight of his sword unto the scales of the party struggle.
Mm-hmm.
With his aid, the Hellenizers were for a time in control of Jerusalem. Until another sword, the sword of Judah, the Maccabee.
The who?
The Maccabee.
The who?
The Maccabee.
Uh-huh.
Put an end to their aspirations and restored the old form of national life.
You understand? This is what we are celebrating. We are celebrating 4 brothers, a father and 3 sons who dared, in the eye of tyranny, you understand, in the eye of treason, and in the eye of wickedness, to stand apart and fight against the popular mindset, the status quo. So I don't want to hear anyone say, well, I'm just one man or I'm just one woman. What can I do? You understand? The reason why Judas Maccabeus did what he did, because he saw his father slay a man, which we are about to read, at an altar that was going to sacrifice swine's flesh, you understand, so he can get down with the Greeks. You gotta dare, when you see a brother walking with his pants down, you gotta be that man and tell him to pull him up. You understand? It starts with us, brothers. We are a nation of cowards. And you wonder why our women and our children act the way that they act. Is because we don't have the courage to check one another. You understand? If there were no men in the strip clubs, there would be no strippers. If it wasn't nobody at Bissonnette and Plainfield, it wouldn't be no hoes strolling up and down there. Because they gonna find where the brothers is at. They gonna find where the protection is at. They gonna find where the money is at. You understand? And it's sad being a virtuous woman at home, because it ain't nothing but righteous men trying to lead. All right, read the next slide. I sent you the one that's in blue, Kamar. And we'll get back to the story so we can breeze through it. Good night. It's already 8 o'clock.
Khan. Hellenism was not introduced into Israel by the forces outside. The part of the Jewish public itself developed an attachment to alien customs and became eager for Hellenistic modes of life to obtain a foothold in Jerusalem. Now, if the aspiration to Hellenization arose among the Jews as a result of the internal development of Jewish history, it devolves upon us to investigate the factors which led part of the Jewish community to Hellenization. And we have to ask, first of all, what has the motive of those who inclined in this direction? The obvious and simple answer is that their aim was the spread of Greek culture, and that for them Hellenization was based on their conscience of the advantages of Hellenism over Judaism.
You understand? So their mindset was that being a Greek or being an American was better than being Black, Hispanic, or Native American. You understand? You speaking English is better than you speaking Hebrew. That you speaking Spanish is better than you speaking Hebrew. You understand? You speaking French was better than you speaking Hebrew. You understand? Because these are all languages of our oppressor. Creole is just the patois, you understand, of French. You understand? Patois is just the broken of English. You understand? Ebonics, we try to make our own culture and our own language, you understand, of our oppressor when we had our own language. You understand? This is what makes it so diabolical. In the Indian boarding schools, this is what they did. You understand? They would starve out the Native Americans. You understand? And to where that they wouldn't be able to get rations. And the only way they would get rations is if they gave up all their children and sent them into boarding school. And the first thing they did when they got to boarding school, they cut all their hair off. They weren't allowed to speak their language. They weren't allowed to keep their culture or their feast days. You understand? They weren't allowed to wear their Native American garms or jewelry. You understand? They had to give up everything because they knew once you cut off the head, the body will wither and die. That's what the scripture says. If you can bind the strong man, you can take the house. Keep reading, Jan. Read that second paragraph. Start the highlighted part.
Come on, sir. It is a fact that the bearers of the idea of Hellenization among the Jews were not distributed among various classes of Jewish society. but were entirely confined to one class.
To what? To what? How many classes?
One class.
Let's just take a guess of what class that the Hellenization was pitched to. Keep reading.
Namely, the ruling aristocracy
Mm-hmm.
of Jerusalem.
You understand? So that's your Beyonce's. That's your Jay-Z's. You understand? That's your Cardi B's. That's your Migos, your Lil Waynes. You understand? Your Busta Rhymes. You understand? Your P Diddy's. You understand? And what's crazy is I'm loving the time that we in, because the wickedness that all of them was doing is being exposed. You understand? When you take on the culture of your oppressor, when the ship starts to go down, guess what? You're gonna go down with the ship. You understand? I'm grateful to the Most High for what is coming out about Puffy P. Diddy Combs, Sean Combs. You understand? Because he's literally doing to everybody in our community what Harvey Weinstein did to everyone in the Hollywood community. You understand? Keep reading.
This being the case, the study of the question shifts from the purely cultural to the historical and social spheres.
Mm-hmm.
And when we ask what was the reason why the Jewish aristocracy at a given historical moment, that is, in the time of the rule of Antiochus Epiphanes, decided to lead the Jewish people along the road of Hellenization.
Mm-hmm.
The more deeply we probe the social structure of the Jewish people in the Hellenistic period, the clearer becomes the fact that Hellenization was only an external expression of an inner historical process, which in reality bore no direct relation to cultural questions.
You understand? Because it was about the annihilation of our culture. All right. Now let's get back to the script, nephew. Where we was at? We was at First Maccabees 11 and 12. Go ahead.
This is the book of First Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, verse 12. So this device pleased them well.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Hey, Michael, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15, brother. You gonna read 28 15 to 17. Go ahead, keep reading, nephew.
Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
So we read it in the history books. Now we reading it in the Bible. That it literally says the purpose for them building gymnasiums. Keep reading.
Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves.
It's gonna start back feed now. It's gonna start back feed. You say they won't read that part one more time, nephew?
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. Verse 15.
There we go.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
And made themselves what?
Uncircumcised. And forsook the holy covenant.
Now, for those that have been partaking in the rabbit hole of the book of Genesis breakdown that we've been doing, is what is the circumcision for us? What is the circumcision for us?
So like I said, I'm gonna take a guess. Removing our culture, removing our identity.
Yeah, but what is it?
Can you repeat the question one more time, sir?
What is the circumcision for us? Go ahead.
I don't know.
Monica, go ahead.
Don't do that. It's Abraham's covenant.
It's what?
Abraham's covenant.
Give her a hand. You understand? It is literally the symbol. It is like your badge of your blood oath. You understand? Every male child that is born in Israel at birth is blooded in. It is your blood oath. You understand? To the Abrahamic covenant. You understand? It shows that you are a prince of Israel. That's why when Goliath came up against Israel, that's why David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that thinks he can speak to the sons of God in this way? You understand? Because it is our badge. It's like you wearing a sheriff badge on you. That's how you know what tribe you come from. We the tribe of circumcision. We get blooded in at birth. You understand? You was bled into this gang, baby. It ain't just about the blood that's in your veins, you understand? But it's the circumcised of that thing. You understand? But they gave up their covenant. You understand? Keep reading.
And forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief.
And were sold to do what?
Mischief.
All right. Now give Mike the mic. All right. Mike, I want you to read Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe.
To do what?
To observe.
What does observe mean? Anybody? What does observe mean? No. What you got, nephew? To watch. Go ahead. Keep going, Mike. Give him a hand.
To observe. To do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
All right. So it said to hearken, which means to listen, to observe, which means to see, and then to do what you've listened and saw. If you don't do all of these things, you understand what's going to happen, Mike?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Keep reading. You're going to read the 17.
Verse 16. Curse shalt there be in the city, and curse shalt there be in the field.
You understand? They were cursed in all of Jerusalem. You understand? They tried to run. You understand? And they were overtaken in the field. Keep reading.
Verse 17. Curse shall be thy basket and thy store.
That means you ain't able to save no money. You understand? Drop down to 36. Read 36 and 37 for me, Mike.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shall they serve other gods, wood and stone.
You understand? This is what's literally happening right now. They use the aristocracy of Israel, the wealthy people of Israel. This is how you overtake a people, right? You go to the wealthy people of that nation, like, look, you understand? It's over for y'all. But I tell y'all what, if y'all convince the people in the barrios, the people in the hoods, the people on the reservation, you understand, to come over to our side, we'll make a special place for you in our government. You understand? We'll give you a nice office as an alderman. You understand? We'll make you a regent. We'll make you a governor. We'll make you a judge. You understand? We'll make you a sheriff. We'll make you a constable. You understand? We'll make you a senator. You understand? We'll make a special place just for you. This is what they did. You understand? And they gave us over on a silver platter. This is why it says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You understand? The Lord said to study and show thyself approved, because we are a nation of kings and priests. Every man is a king and priest of his own household. You are responsible for your house. Jay-Z not responsible for your house. Beyonce not responsible for your marriage. You understand? Cardi B not responsible for how your children raise up. Hell, Cardi B don't even let her kids listen to her own music. You understand? But they push her music on all of your children. You understand? They got this sexy red and Sukiana whorish culture pushed upon our people. You understand? You want me to show you the condition of a nation? Let me show you they women. You understand? Let me show you they women. Because the women are a direct reflection of the men in the society. We have to change, brothers. We have to be like Judas Maccabeus and his father Mattathias and dare to stand against our daughters becoming Sukiana and Sexy Red. Keep reading, Michael. Drop down to verse 43. Read 43 to 45.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
You understand? We were ruling over Jerusalem. You understand? When Alexander the Great came in there and sacked us, it was because we were not keeping our culture. And then to make sure that we never rose up again, Antiochus brought in the Helleniste, the Hellenization of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to get you to forsake your God. And they knew if he got you to forsake your God, because everybody knew if the Lord is with them, you understand, we're going to be made an example to all the other nations. But if we get one of them to forsake their God, we can take them all. Keep reading.
Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
It just sounds like America to me. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're not the lenders. We're not the ones giving out loans to our own people. It's our oppressor. It's the financial institutions that's predicated off the back of our community. You understand? It's the bonds that have set from our people being put in prison. Keep reading.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and they shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Till thou be what?
Destroyed.
You understand? We've been destroyed since the Greco-Roman Empire. You understand? We have not risen up since the Greco-Roman Empire, to the point to where the scripture says it's Judah, a house-born slave. Because you choose to serve your oppressor instead of serve your own God. We are the people that came out of Egypt into the wilderness with Moses that said, did you bring us out here into the wilderness to die? We chose oppression instead of freedom. Because to be free, it takes hard work. That means you got to have morals. That means you got to have integrity. Most importantly, you got to have the law. And that's what they got us to forsake, to be in this God-forsaken country. All right, let's get back to the story. Nephew, get back to First Maccabees. I think you are at verse 16.
Kanawakan, sir. This is the book of First Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, verse 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion over of 2 realms. Verse 17.
For time's sake, drop down to verse 25.
Kanawakan, sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 25. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were.
Matter of fact, let's see, 25. No, keep reading where you were. We gotta get that part. Start at 20.
Kanawakan, sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 20. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Verse 21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof. Verse 22. And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the temple, all which he pulled off.
Y'all want to know why the Vatican looked the way it looked? Somebody tell me, blow my mind. Does anybody Does anybody know why the Vatican looks the way it looks? Why it's so prestigious? Why it has all this silver and gold draped everybody? Anybody know why? I mean, he just read it. Go ahead, nephew. What you got? Because of what? Because of us. Well, give him a hand. It is because of us, right? But why is it because of us? Based off of what he just read. What you got, sis? Give sis the mic. Because they what?
They stole it.
Because they stole it. Give her a hand. You understand? The reason why all the priests, the cardinals, the Pope, and all the city of the Vatican is draped in all this silver and gold is because they stole it from you. In the Greco-Roman Empire, they sacked our great temple. Like, I don't think y'all understand the amount of wealth that we come from. To give it in hindsight, Jacob, when he came back into the land, when he met his brother Esau to stop him from killing him, he sent his brother a gift of $1 million worth of livestock. $1 million worth of livestock, and that didn't affect none of his herd. They had so much wealth between them that the city that they were in could not contain them. It could not contain their maid servants, their manservants, their children, all of their cattle, and their entire household. To the point to where Esau had to claim an entire mountain for his whole people. You come from extreme wealth. We are not a pauper people. That's why you carry yourself the way you carry yourself. That's why we're big on honor. We don't tolerate no disrespect. Because we're royalty. All right, keep reading where you at, nephew, in First Maccabees.
Verse 23. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. Verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre.
Having doing what?
Made a great massacre. And spoken very proudly.
You understand? The only way that they're able to kill us, the only way they're able to kill the body, you got to first destroy the mind. You understand? And that is not only what has happened, that is what has continued to happen. If you don't believe me, just take a look on TV. Just take a stroll on social media. You understand? Our people are mentally destroyed. We have no north in our compass. You understand? And we steady going down south, spiraling out of control. Keep reading, nephew.
Verse 25. Therefore, there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were. Verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Verse 27. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
All right, Young, give me go to Deuteronomy just to show you everything that is happening is what the Lord will say will happen if we forsake our culture. All right, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 25.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Do what?
Smitten before thine enemies.
You understand? We were smitten so much that Antiochus, he went back to his own land and bragged not only how he murdered us, you understand, but what everything that he stole from us. He stole all of our wealth out of Israel. You understand? Keep reading. Drop down to verse 28. Read 28 and 29.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
With what?
Madness.
With what?
Madness.
You understand? Our people had lost their mind. They were in extreme mourning because of what the Lord allowed to happen to us. But it's not because of what the Lord allowed, it's because of what we allowed. Like, there are conditions to the contract that we took with the Lord. You understand? It's called terms and agreements. And if you don't keep the terms and agreements, guess what? There are penalties. You understand? Everything that we're going through right now as a people, this is a penalty to the contract that we signed as a blood oath. I tell people all the time, it don't matter what you believe, you can't change the blood that runs through your veins. You understand? And the ancestors of the blood that runs through your veins made a blood oath with a supreme power. Every people on the face of this earth, they have a spiritual system and a power that they answer to. It just so happens that the power that we answer to created all of this. And we are bind, whether you believe it or not. Keep reading.
And blindness and astonishment of heart. Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
They shall not what?
Not prosper in thy ways.
That means anything that you set your hands to, you will not prosper. You can work you can work 6 18-hour shifts. Your life still getting cut off. You understand? You can work 6 18-hour shifts. You still facing eviction. You understand? You can work 6 18-hour shifts. You understand? Your baby still got an empty fridge looking for food. Nothing that you do is enough. It's because the Lord has put a hole in our basket because we have decided not to follow the culture of our God. Keep reading. Drop to verse 32. Read 32 to 34.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
You understand? You know what makes me envious? I've had the honor with the company that I used to work for to go in different houses of different cultures, right? No matter if it's white people, Asian people, East Indian people, Arab people, African people, right? When I go in their houses at a certain time frame, when the what I like to call the 30 to 45 generation, while they're at work, you know who's picking the kids up from school? The grandparents. Because the grandparents live in the household and they're taken care of by their children. They don't put their family in the old folks' home. You understand? Their job is to make sure that the children are reared up and brought up in the old ways. You understand? The reason why this scripture says what it says, like, our families are in mourning. Like, how often and how like in our communities do our mothers say, man, when the next time you gonna come by the house? I sure miss you. When you gonna come visit me? When you gonna come see me? You wanna know why you can't visit them and come see them? Because you're busy working 16, 18-hour job, 6 days, 18 hours a day. You understand? You don't have time for your family. You don't have time to teach your family. You don't have time to save up, you understand, and to create generational wealth. The only thing that you have time for is to work and die, just like on Django on the camping plantation. They're going to work you, you understand, till your back give out. Then they're going to take a hammer to your head and they're going to throw you down the end hole. I can't say it because, they're going to censor me on social media. But if you didn't see the movie Django, you know what the end hole is. You understand? But that's what it is, brother. My father is 70 years old. He's still driving trucks. My father shouldn't be driving trucks. But you know why he's driving trucks? It's because this world that we live in is meant to be their heaven and our hell. We are the servantile class in this nation. And it's because we've given up our oath to our God. Keep reading.
Count on one count. Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Verse 30.
This is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is why they mad all the time. You understand? When you roll up on a brother and you see him when he pull up and you look at him in his eyes, 9 times out of 10, you understand, he frowned up. You understand? It ain't like, and when you looking at him, it ain't no, hey brother, how you doing? It's like, hey bro, what you looking at? It's because we're not a happy people, because we're oppressed, because we're cursed, because of our lack of knowledge. You understand? All right, get back to the story, nephew. Drop down the first Maccabees 1:30.
Sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence.
Start at 28.
Sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
The land was also moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. Verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
But all was what?
Deceit.
All was what?
Deceit.
You know what I'm saying? When Creflo Dollar speak to you, it sound like beautiful words, but it's all what?
Deceit.
When TD Jakes speak to you, it sound like beautiful words, but it's all what?
Deceit.
You understand? Everything that these Christian pastors tell you is what?
Deceit.
You understand? They have given our people over to ravenous wolves, man. Keep reading.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore.
You understand? So what that means is after they paid their tribute, it didn't matter what they paid them. They hunted us for sport. What's crazy is your tax dollars pay the police and they hunt you for sport. You understand? They protect and serve our oppressors' neighborhood, but they police us. You understand? They hunt you for sport because you're not a people. Anybody in here ex-military? You ex-military, right? If you pull your firearm and let's say you're in a combative zone, if you pull your firearm and you fire on a native in another land and that native did not shoot at you, what'll happen? You'll be what? You're gonna get court-martialed. You want to know why? Because that is a war crime. You cannot just discharge your firearm and fire at unarmed people because that is an act of war. You want to know why they can just discharge their firearms and fire on you? It's because we are a nation that is not a nation. You understand? We don't have a defense. We don't have a military because we have given it up because we are a Hellenized people. And the crazy part is the first part of Hellenization is what? Hell. We are a people that have been put in hellish conditions and have been told to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know we killed Trayvon. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know we murdered Sandra Bland, but pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know we murdered Tamir Rice, but pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know we murdered Philando Castillo on camera. but pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know we choked out George Floyd for 24 minutes and 37 seconds on national television, but pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Everything that they have done to us, they have gotten off because we are a nation that is not a nation. Because we refuse to take hold of our covenant. We refuse to take hold of our laws because we are Hellenized in hell. Keep reading, nephew.
And destroyed much people of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire.
He did what?
Set it on fire.
He did what?
Set it on fire.
Uh-huh.
And pulled down the houses and walls thereof.
They've been doing what they did to Rosewood and what they did to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma since the Greco-Roman Empire. Every time you build yourself up and you think that you got a foothold in this godforsaken nation, you understand? They tear it down. You understand? The Black Panthers tried it. They shot him down. Malcolm tried it. They shot him down. You understand? John Africa and the Move movement tried it. They bombed a whole black community in Philadelphia just to get rid of one house. They burned an entire prospering black community because one group of people tried to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Just take a look at when you get an opportunity. Research John Africa and the Move movement in Philadelphia. You understand? They try. Go ahead. Go. Come on, Knock. Come on, Knock. He's a Philly native right here. He know the history.
If I could, the Move movement was on 62nd and Osage. I'm from 61st and Osage.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a block away from me, but I was born in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what that block was, but all the houses just look, they all boarded up. The whole block is boarded up. You know what I mean? So what happened was it's a creek down there. And they set up at the creek and it was firing up the block. And the Move movement was they barricaded themselves in the building. They said it was stinking. And so they bombed the block or that whole city street. They bombed that street to get them out. And they tried to make them go towards the creek. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the only places they ever bombed in America besides Tulsa.
Get that brother hand. You understand? It's only 2 cities in the United States of America that has been bombed. And it was bombed by the United States of America. And guess who they bombed? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? If you do not know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. The reason why I'm spending so much time on this first chapter is because this is the state of America right now. What you got? What you got? Come on.
Salaki, sir. I just want to know what was the other one besides Philadelphia, sir?
Say it one more
What
time.
was the other city that was bombed besides Philly, sir?
Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Also, you can research Rosewood in Florida, Seneca Village in New York, and you can also Google Black, Hispanic, and Native American towns that were flooded and that are now national lakes and national parks. Go ahead, Knock. Give Knock the mic.
If I could, you had Richmond. I think it was Richmond.
Yeah.
And Bill Street in Memphis.
There you go. You understand? So, but they have literally flooded Black, Hispanic, and Native American towns and made lakes. You understand? Anytime you try and rise up, they're going to show you why it's no need for you to fight. It's because we've been trying to fight under our own power. You understand? But the Lord said that vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You don't got to pick up a gun. You understand? Everybody be like, but you know, we need to arm ourselves. You understand? How you going to outgun a gunsmith? You understand? How you going to have more ammunition than somebody that makes all the ammunition? You understand? They got exoskeleton fighters now. You understand? They got robots to fight now. In New York, they got robot dogs to police people with M16s on the top of them. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, I was doing a little bit of research,
Go ahead.
and I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but it said Tulsa, Oklahoma was bombed in around 1921,
Yes, in 1921.
which I think was during the Roaring Twenties period,
Yes, it was.
which is where the U.S. was at its all-time peak, where everyone was like prosperous and wealthy and everything like that. The economy was
The reason, go ahead now. The reason why they were wealthy and prosperous is because it was a claiming of land. Basically, they would force blacks and Hispanics off of their farmland, and they would claim right to unclaimed land. This is the wealth of our oppressor. Go ahead, Knock. What you got? Give him.
If I could, I think his name was A something Gurley. Tulsa, Oklahoma was on oil.
Right.
And they had so what they did was they had, and Esau couldn't get them off the land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they started a war with the white woman.
Right.
And they took that land from them. But they said they had so much money in Black Wall Street, like they started businesses in the whole black city. They had so much money that $1 for 3 years to leave Black Wall Street.
Brother, let me tell you something, right? You know, even though Gaddafi, you understand, is a Hamite, right? But the reason why they killed Gaddafi is because that he was going to make the African dollar based off of and backed off of the minerals that were in the ground on the continent of Africa, right? The reason why Tulsa, Oklahoma was so wealthy was because of the minerals that were in the ground. Baba Kashad, if somebody could turn down the volume on the first and the second knob, is back feeding, right? But this is the reason. This is the reason why they do what they do to you. Is because they know that's what the scripture says. The scripture says, "I know that thou art impoverished, but thou art rich." You understand? Because you are royalty. All you have to do is claim your culture to claim your wealth. That's all you have to do. All right? Let's get back to the story. Keep reading. It's 8:45 already. Drop down to 41, nephew.
Sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That what?
All should be one people.
Anybody know what America is known as? What is America known as? Go ahead. Give it to Kamar. You read it. What you got?
Salakia, sir, one nation, and they claim under God.
Yes, it's one nation, but what is America known as?
One people.
I'm looking for. Go ahead. What you got, sis? The what, sis? Give sis a hand. You understand? You understand? Now, sis, let me ask you a question. How do you melt something? You do what? You put fire to it. You understand? So in order to make something one, you got to burn it. You understand? China, you got to burn it. Japan, you got to burn it. You understand? Arabs, you got to burn it. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you got to burn it. Because you can't be your own people here. We got to be one people. I'm sure the reason why I'm spending so much time on the first chapter is to let you know what age we're in. We're still in the Helleniste and the Hellenization, and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the key part of that word, we are in hell. You understand? So that we can be one people. Because if you were holy, you would have to be a separate people. You understand? And to be a separate people, means that you're a holy people. And that means that you will be above all other people on the face of the earth. So this is the reason why they got to push Sukihana in Sexy Red. You understand? There's a reason why they got to push Surviving P. Diddy. You understand? This is the reason why our culture is predicated with the LGBTQ. Everybody is a pronoun and a synonym. You understand? Keep reading, nephew.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws.
Everyone should do what?
Leave his laws.
You understand? You should leave the laws of Buddha. You should leave the laws of Krishna. You should leave the laws of Allah. You should leave the laws of Yahweh. You understand? To be one people. As Jan said, under God, what God? You understand? The oppressor said that I will raise myself above the stars of heaven. You understand? But the Most High said that, O Lucifer, how art thou have fallen? Though that you have thought you would raise yourself above the heavens, I shall bring you down to the dust. You understand? Because he thought to destroy not only the people of God, but the laws of God. Keep reading, nephew.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to this religion. And
consented to his what?
Religion.
You understand? This is the reason why Christianity is famous throughout the entire world. You understand? Christianity isn't famous because of the God of the Bible. It's famous because of Constantine. You understand? And the Council of Nicaea. It is famous because of the Greco-Roman Empire. Tell me what Christmas has to do with the Most High in Christ. Tell me what Easter has to do with the Most High in Christ. Nothing. You understand? Tell me what Halloween has to do with the Most High in Christ. Tell me what Dias de Muertos has to do with the Most High in Christ. Nothing. You understand? Tell me what All Saints Day has to do with the Most High in Christ. Nothing. They propagated and pushed their religion on you so you would forsake your culture and the laws of your God and the laws of your power. Keep reading, nephew.
And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Verse 44. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths.
And they shall do what?
Profane the Sabbaths.
This is why they have you work on the Sabbath. Most of your slaveries have you slave on the Sabbath. They give you off on what? Sunday. You understand? Which is their God's day, which is Ra, Jupiter, Zeus. That's their God's day. Keep reading.
And festival days. Verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Verse 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh.
And they did what?
Sacrifice swine's flesh.
They desecrated your temple and your altars, and they sacrificed unholy beasts in the most holy of holies. They spread pig's blood all over your temples. Keep reading.
And unclean beasts. Verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable.
And do what?
Make their souls abominable.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have made our souls abominable to the Most High and God. But guess what? He's sending a powerful king, a black revolutionary, the most revolutionary black man, whose name is Yahawashi Mashiach, who is going to lead blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans back into our kingdom, back into our ways, back into our culture. Keep reading, nephew.
With all manner of uncleanliness
Mm-hmm.
and profanation. Verse 49. To the end that they might forget the law.
That they might what?
Forget the law.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have forgotten the law. You have forgotten your language. You understand? And the crazy thing is, your grandmother, your mama, your aunties, you understand? Everybody has had this book either on their dashboard, you understand, in their rear window, in their car, on their living room table, on the coffee table. You understand? And what's crazy is it is more easy for you to believe that you are the Gentile in the story than the Son of God. It is more easy for you to believe that you are the Gentile that is merged in adoption than for you to believe that the story is all about you. That you are the lost sheep of the house of Israel that Christ came to save. You rather believe that you are the heathen, that you are the infidel, you understand, than you are the chosen one. Keep reading, nephew.
And change all the ordinances.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
He shall what?
Die.
He shall what?
Die.
He shall what?
Die.
You understand? Because they have created crafty counsel against us. Kumar, give me Psalms 83, and then nephew, go ahead and jump to we just gonna give the summary of the reason why we are here. But I wanted to spend this class talking about First Maccabees chapter 1. I want you to go to First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56. No, Kumar, you're gonna read what I asked you to read. All right, go to Psalms 83. Start at verse 2. You're gonna read 2 to 5.
This is Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies,
Thy friends.
Salaki, sir.
No. What does it say?
Thine enemy. Oh, Salaki, sir. My bad. Thine enemies,
Thy friend,
enemies,
thy equals,
enemies,
thy brethren,
enemies. Make a tumult.
What is a tumult? Does anybody know what a tumult is? Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Who else know? What does a tumult mean? Does anybody know what a tumult is? Tumultuous. What is it, sis? There you go. Give sis a hand. All right. A tumult means trouble. All right. Keep reading.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
You understand? Everyone that hates you has lifted up a head against you. Keep reading.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have done what?
Taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us what?
Cut them off from being a nation.
Somebody showed me on the map the nation of black. Show me the black lands. Show me the nation of black. Where's the nation of black? Can somebody show me the nation of African America? Can somebody show me the nation of Latino? So show me the nation of Hispanic. Where's that nation? Right? Where's the nation of Native America? Where's that nation at? Right? It's because they have cut us off from being a people. They have cut us off from being a nation. Keep reading.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You understand? Does somebody look up when the state of Israel was formed? What year was it? Go ahead, Knock. You understand? Yeah, it was right before the Munich Olympics. You understand? You feel me? So it said that the nation of Israel will be no more remembrance, right? Is the Israeli state, is that a nation? No, it is not. Because they are not a people. You understand? They are a group of imposters. Keep reading.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
Uh-huh.
They are confederate against thee.
They are what?
Confederate against thee.
You understand? So they have been confederate against us to cut us off from being a nation. And I must admit, they've done a pretty good damn job at it. You understand? Because we don't know where we come from. We don't know our native tongue. You understand? Like, we don't know our history past slavery. And I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? We don't know where our ancestors came from because they have bind the strong man so they could take the house. All right. Now read what I asked you for, nephew, so we can get to the reason why we're here. All right. Go to First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56, and you're going to read to 59.
Sir. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and burnt offerings with gladness.
All right. So we are to keep the feast of dedication for 8 days, right? There's a reason why the menorah is lit, right? So you have seven candles on here for the 7 days that we keep it. It's closed on the 8th day. All right, keep reading.
And sacrifice the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. Verse 57. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold.
You know what I'm saying? We got the gold lines up here. We got the censers. You understand? We got the trumpets. You understand? Like, you know, the temple is clean. You understand? We got food up here for the feast. Keep reading.
And with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them. Verse 58. Thus was there great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
You understand? The reproach of the heathen was put away because of the sacrifice that Mattathias and his sons, you understand, did. They were 4 men that stood opposed to our oppressor. Keep reading.
Verse 59. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year.
From what?
Year to year. By the space of 8 days. From the 25th day of the month Caslu. With mirth and gladness.
That's the end of it.
Come on, sir.
All right, no sweat. All right, and with that, we're gonna say amagium, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Qudash, Hayab, Shemkav, Yahweh, Malak Wakab, Taba'ah, Ratazayakab, Hayab, Ashab, Baratazab, Kawab, Hayab, Bashemaya, Kethanlanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawakinawa, Wala'ab, Kabiayanawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Awashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kayub, Lekub, Hamalakwa, Wahalab, Wahata Parak, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, turn your face to front. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Been a visual. Body Shabbat. Baju. Rock. How about she be all shot, broke it thumb? Got him a top. Sar, turn your face to sisters. Been a visual. Body Shabbat. Baju. Rock. How Shabbat thought about she be all shot. Got him a top. Dismiss.